Hi everyone, welcome back. So today I'm going to be getting ready for a soccer banquet that I'm going to tonight. And normally that wouldn't be that interesting, but at the last second they turned it into a Halloween themed banquet. So I went into my closet of costumes and decided that I'm gonna wear Harley Quinn tonight. So I thought I would show you the makeup. I've done this quite a few times since I first wore the costume, I think about 4 or 5 years ago. I somehow managed to bust it out every Halloween. It's one of my favorites and the makeup's a lot of fun too. I'm wearing red contacts right now, which is not normal for this costume, but I just happen to have them and hadn't used them yet, so I thought I'd throw them on. Kind of works with Harley Quinn's whole red and black vibe. Honestly, one red contact and one black one would have been better, but I only have the red ones. These were sent to me years ago by, I think it's spookyeyes.com. Love their contacts. I'm not somebody who normally wears contacts, so it can be a bit of a challenge to put them in, but I mean, I got them in no problem after a few attempts. Okay, zoomed you in a bit because we're gonna get started on the face. I always have to start with face makeup for this, which is not something that I normally do, but I'm gonna prime my eyes first because I'm gonna be putting white paint all over them. I'm just always so scared of fallout when I do face makeup first. Oh, and a tip for if you're wearing contacts for your Halloween costume, put them in before you do your makeup, because inevitably, if you're someone like me who almost never wears contacts, you will end up crying as you put them in, and if you have your makeup already done, you'll ruin your makeup. So for primers, I'm just using the Urban Decay Primer Potion and the Inglot Shadow Keeper, Eyeshadow Keeper. So the Harley Quinn costume that I have is based on one of the video games, I believe, is Arkham Knight.
That's right.
Shoo! My husband just came in. I've never played it, but it is my favorite Harley Quinn outfit because I just think it's really cute. I'm not actually a huge fan of the Suicide Squad look for her. I really don't know why they went with red and blue. I really don't like it at all. I am definitely much more about the black and red. First thing I'm gonna do is make my face whiter than it actually is. And I always do that with the Inglot Cream Concealer in the shade 37, which is just a basic white. I think I've got enough left in this to cover my whole face. If not, I've got like a Makeup Forever Flash palette I'll use as well. But the reason I like this one is, I mean, it's basically the same as a foundation really, it's just a little bit thicker. And you get decent coverage out of it. So I just whacked a whole bunch on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna sponge it on with this Real Techniques sponge that was from like a holiday collection, I think last year. I don't love the shape of this sponge, but I've saved it for this very occasion because after I use cream concealer with a sponge, you basically ruin the sponge. Like there's no going back. I've done this a few times and I'm just like, ugh. You can't get the concealer out of the sponge, or at least not the way I'm doing it. So this year for actual Halloween, we're going as Game of Thrones, which is the last year that this is going to be relevant, I think. And even then, I think people are trying to put Game of Thrones out of their minds ever since that horrific series finale. What did you think of it? I don't know, there's so many problems. First of all, the books haven't been completely written, so we don't know if that's the actual storyline, although it has been said that GRWM Martin did give them basic plot points. But everything just felt so rushed. I can't stand how Daenerys' basic like storyline just boils down to her being crazy at the end of the day. Like, what a waste of a character. It was done too fast. I don't think it made any sense, and I was not a fan. I definitely put way too much on the back of my hand. You get so much coverage with this that I should not have put that much. So anyway, for our Game of Thrones costume, I'm going as Daenerys, which is fun. I bought her big winter jacket, so that's kind of cool. And I bought a wig so I can do her super long white blonde hair. And I'll just have to braid it. But I'm pretty good at braids, so I'll look up some tutorials online and then just do that on the wig. And my husband is going as Jon Snow. His costume just arrived, thankfully. A little bit late because it's a week before Halloween. But his costume accidentally got sent to Alberta. That's not the address he put in. And they had to send a new one out. Okay, it's fine. It's a little bit patchy in some areas. but I think it's because I got some primer stuck in certain areas and it's clinging to that more than the others. If you look at the bridge of my nose, you can see the whiter patches where it's sticking to the eyeshadow primer that I accidentally got on my nose. It happens to me all the time. I don't know why. It's probably just the way I apply it. Now her face makeup doesn't actually come down to her neck. It really just stays up top. So that makes it easy because I hate wearing face paint down my neck because inevitably it will end up all over my clothing. I did that once with Mystique Blue, got all over my white dress, and then I was Gamora one time as well, and that's green paint. Ugh. It can be messy. All right, I'm gonna set that, and for that, I'm gonna use the RCMA No Color Powder that I just decanted into this little tub. This stuff is supposed to be translucent, but honestly, I find that there's quite a bit of a white base to it, which works for this. I do use it to set colored products, but usually I have to like really wipe it off afterwards. Okay, so for the eyes, I'm gonna do one red and the other one black because she's very two-toned. One side tends to be red and the other side is black. I think I'm gonna do the red one on the left eye. First, what I'm gonna do for both eyes though is take a medium brown shade on a fluffy brush and throw that through my crease because I do not like the fact that red fades out to pink because I do not want pink in this look whatsoever. I only want red. So in order to blend out the red shade, I'm gonna blend it into the brown, which will not look pink. And I'll do that for the other side too, even though this is going to be black. I just want a transition color there that'll make it a little bit more seamless. And before I do the rest of the eyes, I'm gonna highlight the brow bone. I'm pulling out my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. I know we don't talk about Kat Von D anymore, but this palette is really good and it's a staple for my Halloween makeup looks, just because it has all of the neutral matte tones that I need. And I'm not throwing out her products even though I don't support her anymore. Be a waste really, because I'd need to go out and buy something similar to this from another brand. So just using that to blend out the transition color. Okay, starting with my red eye, I'm going to use a Makeup Forever red shadow. Makeup Forever reformulated their eyeshadows, so they no longer have these circular pans anymore. I think they're in square pans, but this is my favorite red color. I think it's called something cherry. Morello cherry? Maybe that's it. Phenomenal color. So I'm just gonna take that on a flat shader brush for now. I'll probably get a fluffy brush later on, but I'm literally just gonna pack this all over my eye. I'm not doing anything fancy with these eyes up top really, because I'm going to do her diamonds coming out of my lower lash line area. To blend that out, I'm just taking a MAC 217, same product, just trying to be a little bit lighter up here. I think it was a little bit too heavy-handed right there. So this is what I mean, instead of it fading out to pink, it kind of fades into that transition color. And it just still looks red to me, but I still get a fade up to my brow bone that doesn't look like a harsh line across it. Then for the other side, same thing. I'm just gonna use a black, taking the black from the Kat Von D palette on a flat shader brush. This is a MAC 239, I wanna say. Yeah, I think so. It's almost rubbed off on mine. I love these ones so much. And this I'm gonna be a little bit more careful because I do not want fallout, and if it drops on the white, it's gonna look terrible. Let me grab a Kleenex actually. Just gonna put that below to catch anything. Now I can be a bit sloppier. You guys have any plans for Halloween? Are you dressing up or just handing out candy? Maybe you're doing both. It's on a Thursday this year, and I always take the next day off, so I'm not going to work on November 1st. We've been doing group costumes for quite a few years now, but this year the theme didn't appeal to as many people, so I think, yeah, there's only 3 of us doing it. My husband, myself, and my good friend Julie, but it'll be fun. We go out on Church Street, which is in the gay village here in Toronto. They closed down the street for it, and it becomes like just a celebration of Halloween. It's fantastic. There's like at least 4 blocks, I think, completely closed, and people just go out and have fun and they look at the costumes. Because we tend to do group costumes, we end up being quite famous on the street. Not that people know who we are, but we get stopped for photos constantly. You start to feel like a celebrity. It's pretty cool. Okay, so that's good enough for the eyes up top for now. Now what I'm gonna do is put little diamonds down here. And I'm gonna take a Post-it note and use the sticky side of it after I've cut it out. Okay, so here's one. Just gonna put it, where's the center of my eye? Down like that. Oh, it's a little bit pokey right there. Just going to tap the eyeshadow sort of all around it. I want to have that as like open space, so the white of the face makeup shines through. I just want a little bit of a halo around it, I guess. I've never done this before. I'm just hoping that it's going to look kind of neat. Okay, I'm just going to peel that off. Oh, I love it. Could do with a little bit more over here, but let's fix that up. That's kind of cool. Okay, so now I'm gonna do the underside of the eye with a pencil brush. Take my, maybe this is a bad idea, I'm gonna put this over top because I don't want to drop too much product everywhere, and I'm just gonna sloppily add this along the edge. Okay, I took the same piece and restuck it over here, and I'm just gonna tap the red around. Yay! I think this ended up going a little bit more demon than I was anticipating. Oh well, it's fun to try something new. Pretty much always change up how her eyes look. I do the face makeup all the same, really, but I kind of change up the eyes because this gives me, like Halloween gives me the opportunity to try new things that, I mean, where am I gonna wear this to? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, I can't leave my waterline bare because that's just gonna look weird. So for the red side, I'm using the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Crayon in the shade Fine Wine. I love this color just as a regular liner. If I can, there we go. It's just a great red liner. And for the black side, I'm going to be using the Tarte Sex Kitten liner. This one is so creamy. It is so nice to apply to the eye. I mean, look at that. It just glides right on. And I try to get between my lashes too, because I've got blonde lashes. If I don't get that like flap area between, well, my waterline and my lashes, it just doesn't look that good really. Because then I end up with like little pokey flesh bits coming through. For fake lashes, I'm going to be using one of my favorites. It's the Tarte Center of Attention lashes. This is a brand new pack. I haven't even cut them down to size yet. No one talks about them, but Tarte makes phenomenal eyelashes. They are just some of the best shaped for my eyes. I love them so much. Letting the lash glue dry for a while. You know, it's kind of funny about this soccer banquet being a Halloween theme at the last second. I had this sparkly dress that I was so excited to wear to the banquet because I hadn't worn it in like a year because I don't have that much opportunity to wear sequin dresses. So I was so excited to wear that when they announced that this was a Halloween banquet, I was a little bit like, ah. But then I quickly came around to it because I love Halloween so much. My friend Sean, who I play on the same soccer team with, will not be dressing up. He just doesn't love Halloween as much as I do, but I tried to convince him that he should at least wear like a red shirt and black pants. He's like, I don't have a red shirt. I'm like, okay, this isn't working. It's actually a bit of a shame because I made him a two-faced outfit one year. I just sewed together two suits, really, a white and a black one. And then our good friend Steve actually did his two-faced makeup. It looked incredible. It was phenomenal. If I have photos, I mean, I must have photos, I'll put them in here. It just looked so good. I'd probably have to learn to do that makeup on him, but he wasn't that keen on dressing up, so just me. By the way, if anybody's curious about the soccer team that I play on in Toronto, it's called Downtown Soccer Toronto. It is a queer and queer-friendly league. You don't have to be gay to play in it, although I'm bisexual. I'll just point that out because not everybody knows, but I feel like everybody should know. And I joined it probably like 14 or 15 years ago, still in university, because I wanted to meet people, and I've just stuck with it ever since, and I've made some wonderful friends out of it. Now for, oh, I was going to say lips, but no, I haven't done my brows yet. I hate doing my brows. Okay, back in with the Shade and Light eye palette. I'm going to go with a darker color because the face makeup is very stark. So I think I'm gonna go in with this guy right here. Whoop, that guy right there. Not the straight black, because that would look very strange. Okay, lastly, lips. My lip color secret weapon, which shouldn't be secret because it's amazing, is the MAC Prep and Prime for lips. I have a lot of problems, and have for years, with my lip line just bleeding out, and it looks awful, and I hate it so much. And I've tried everything. I tried like powder on my lips, I tried double blotting, I tried lip liners, nothing was working. And then somebody at MAC recommended this, and it's been a game changer for me. So it just looks like kind of a chapstick and applies like one. You just put it directly on your lips. But what you do is you let it dry down a little bit. You wait about 2 or 3 minutes for this to go a little bit tacky, and then you apply your lip color. If you put it on right now, it's too slippery. It doesn't have that grip to it that a primer should have. So you have to wait to apply your lip color. And this stuff makes all of my lip products last for a very long time without any bleed out. It is wonderful. So it's gone a little bit sticky now, which is exactly how I want it, especially because it's got to last dinner. And I hate eating with lipstick on. So for lipstick, I'm just going to go with a straight red. I was going to use MAC's Russian Red, but I left it at work. So I'm going to be using the next best thing, which is MAC's Kinky from their Kinky Boots collection. The shade is like identical to Russian Red, but it was in a limited edition collection, so you can't get your hands on it anymore. Okay, so the lipstick is on, but the thing that I'm not loving now is the fact that this red does not match that red. So to fix this, I'm going to add a little bit of black to the outer corners of my mouth, just to deepen up those areas and hopefully kind of tie those two reds together. So I'm just gonna go back to my Kat Von D palette, take a flat shader brush into the black, and then apply that to the very corners of my mouth. And blend it inwards. Okay, I think that is all of the makeup done. I like how it came out, a little bit different than normal, but as I said earlier, it's fun to try different things. So I'm gonna throw on my whole costume and show you exactly how it all looks like put together. Wait, no, I'm not done. I wanna try something. I brought this toothbrush out here for reasons. I'm gonna give it a shot. What I wanna do is flick opposite colors of cream product onto these little diamond things. So I've got my Makeup Forever Flash palette. I'm gonna take a little bit of product from the red and the black, loosen it up a little bit with some Duraline to make it a little bit more liquid, and then flick it onto that. I'm gonna make it a little bit liquid with some Duraline. Did the red first because the black will be harder to get out of this thing. I'm just going to get it on the edge of the brush. Then I'm going to just grab my finger and pull. And I pray this doesn't screw everything up. Keep my eyes shut for this, really. That's not liquid enough. Well, the flicking wasn't working that great. I probably used the wrong technique or products, but now I'm just dabbling with the toothbrush. Looks okay. Oh, that black came out too strong. Now I'm just taking to patting. Okay, I'm done mucking around with it now. Now I'm gonna go put on my outfit.